I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Akakwadash, and the double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for pushing this truth. This is going to be the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. It's going to be quick, Lord willing. Trust in the Lord Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. So the only way we can trust in the Lord with all our heart, with all our mind, is by being grounded in the scriptures and being grounded in the truth, the true understanding of the scriptures, to the best of your ability at that time, right? That you need to trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not unto their own understanding, because our own understanding is based out of the way we were brought up, and that's not really been working out too good for us or our families or the things that we possess. Verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Now, I just started thinking about that night again. I've been trying to process the past 2 nights, but not the past 2 nights, but that last night. Let's just start out with this guy right here. You got Benny. No, not him. This guy. So this guy shows up at, let's see, 150-56. Now, at probably, well, we ain't gonna look at it through that. All right, we just gonna take it like this. This guy said a lot of stuff. He said he was in the psych ward 10 times. He said a lot of stuff. All right, now, King Von is through. Galatians chapter 1, verse 8. But even if we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel to you than what we have preached to you. All right, so that man was talking about Jehovah's Witness and the way that the name was supposed to be spoken and so forth. But whatever's in the sky right here, it cleared the whole sky. I just uploaded it. It cleared the whole sky, and literally, see, 5802. It's gonna be somewhere around here. Starting from somewhere around here. 5802. 5803. I'm just hitting the start button and stop button. 5803. Here we go. So it comes from over here somewhere. Okay, so 5803, it comes from over here somewhere. Within 2 seconds, it comes from right here, whatever that is. Okay, it starts out at that length, from that distance and that size. And then, let's see, it's 4 seconds right here. Still 4 seconds. Still 4 seconds. Okay, made it to 1 second. Traveled all that distance within, let's say 2 seconds max. And we at 5805. 5805. 5806 is out of there. Alright, so I don't know what that's about. I'm not really too sure with this night. I just noticed that now, and I'm about to tell you what happened for the rest of the night. And it was pretty confusing to me, because I was trying to stay spiritual about everything that was going on. But I just kept thinking of Jacob's trouble, and let me explain why. If an angel from heaven preaches any other thing, any other gospel, and I'm not saying that was an angel from heaven, it says, let him be accursed. The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware, and the angel is a messenger. Okay, verse 3, remember them that are in bonds, okay, as bound with them, and them which suffer adversity, as being yourselves also in the body. So it must needs be that I talk about this. Okay, now let's see. Let me read this first. The book of Tobit, chapter 5, verse 4. Now let me start at 1. Tobias then answered and said, Father, I will do all things which thou hast commanded me. Yeah, Esau. You had to stop that, huh? You had to stop Israelite sons from being able to say that to their father. But anyway, verse 2. Forgot where I'm at. Verse 2. But how can I receive the money, seeing I know him not? Slacky. So Tobit answered his father and said, but how can I receive the money, seeing I know him not? Verse 3, then he gave him the handwriting and said unto him, seek thee a man which may go with thee, whilst I yet live, and I will give him wages, and go and receive the money. Now it's funny that I read verse 3, he said, seek thee a man which may go with thee, whilst I yet live. Now, this guy, no, not here. This guy.
Yes, sir. But you can pay me on Facebook, and I'm just Facebook. That's seeing all stuff. I've been in Cyprus 10 times. So.
I can't hear what he's saying. But one of the things that he kept saying was, even after the camera, he was saying, no, I gotta stay with you. I gotta go with you. I'm supposed to be with you. He kept saying, God's telling me to stay with you, go with you. I gotta go with you, I gotta be with you. He kept talking about things he had to do at 12, and I could go with him to Atlanta. And he said a whole lot. Like, I just knew he was bugged out. But bugged out in the mouth. But this shit is weird. All right, so I can't say it yet. So the book of Tobit, chapter 5, verse 3. Then he gave him the handwriting and said unto him, seek thee a man which may go with thee, whilst I yet live, and will give him wages, and go and receive the money. Verse 4, therefore when he went to seek a man, he found Raphael, that was an angel, but he knew not. And he said unto him, canst thou go with me to Rages? It's Rages. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And knowest thou those places well? Verse 6, to whom the angel said, I will go with thee, and I know the way well, for I have lodged with our brother Gabriel. Now, one thing about this guy that came with me, everywhere we went, he said he knew people over there. And like when we hit the subway, we left from the hallway to the walked up to this little subway eat fresh thing, and I was gonna catch the yellow right on Lombard. Now Lombard is 2-3 blocks from the harbor, so He walked with me to Lombard. He said he had to go charge his phone. We couldn't charge it in Subway. I'm like, yo, I gotta catch the bus, so I ain't got time to wait. He's like, nah, I'm gonna go with you. I'm like, oh, when I get where I'm going, like, you know, you on your own type stuff. You know this, right? He's like, nah, don't worry about that. I'm just gonna go with you till you get where you're going. I ain't gonna see where you're going. And I'm just gonna go my way when you're going inside. I'm thinking to myself, no, you're not. Like, that's not how this works on earth, baby. Like, this is not how we get down with complete strangers. You know what I mean? But check this out. So, we couldn't charge the phone in Subway. There ain't no outlet. And then I seen a shorty outside, who I knew from around Hartford Road. And he got her IG, like, info. Like, he was just, like, talking to her. And, like, she was just couldn't help but to give him whatever he wanted. Like, he was like, yo, give me your IG something. And it's like, she gave it to him. But in her mind, she looking at me like, yo, this is weird. You know what I'm saying? But, like, it was really no reason for her to give him her IG that fast the way he said it. Like, just because you with me, like, that's the only reason it could have been, because he with me. But that don't even make sense, because I don't even have her IG or her number. You see what I'm saying? So this was all real weird. But anyway, and I didn't really pay that no mind. It gets weirder once we get off the bus. But let me get back to Tobit, chapter 5, verse verse 5 and 4. Therefore, when he went to seek a man, he found Raphael, that was an angel, but he knew not. And he said unto him, canst thou go with me to Rages, and knowest thou those places well? He's saying, can you go with me over here to this city, and do you know the place? Verse 6, to whom the angel said, I will go with thee, and I know the way well, for I have lodged with our brother Gabriel. Then Tobias said unto him, tarry for me till I tell my father. Then he said unto him, go and tarry not. So he went and said unto his father, behold, I have found one which will go with me. Then he said, call him unto me, that I may know of what tribe he is, and whether he be a trusty man to go with thee. All right, so the father said, all right, you found somebody, let me get a look at him. Let me, I know people. Let me see what tribe he from, and, if they going off, or like what's going on. Is you going to be cursed? Is you going to be blessed? Because we under the curses and the blessings. Deuteronomy chapter 15. Deuteronomy chapter 28. And you can start at verse 15 for what curses we under right now. Verse 16 says, cursed will be in the city, and cursed will be in the field, and so forth. And Deuteronomy 28:54 says that a man will leave his woman and his children because of the curses. Started Deuteronomy 28:15. All right, that explains the curse, the reason for the curse. Now, ironically, it said a man should leave a woman and his children, but all the divorces are led by women, so we're not going to get into that. And women are the ones that run off with the children. They'll be highly judged by that, because whether you like it or not, you have to give that child to the man if you want to have any favor by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Now, will the man take the child? Who knows? But you better get an A for effort. All right, if you want mercy. All right, because you have to understand that you've taken a man's child from him. And we're coming into the times that are Jacob's trouble, worse than ever before. All right, Daniel 12:1 speaks of a time worse than ever before. The book of Matthew 24, who the world really calls Jesus, set out his own mouth. There will be a time of trouble since no nation. All right, so you women. In the Old Testament it says, and if a man be stolen and found in another man's hand, see, you women don't understand what's going on. All right, so the book of Exodus chapter 21 verse 16, and he that stealeth a man, this goes for children as well, and selleth him, Don't y'all steal and take the child so that y'all can get money from the government? Or you basically like auction off the child. You sign the paperwork. You're selling the child off. Okay, you're taking the child from the father to sell it for some money and to keep the child as a security to get that money, to keep getting that money. All right, Exodus 21:16. And he that stealeth the man, this goes for the moms, stealing the children as well, and selleth them, goes to go into the government, getting done child support money. And they say you don't get child support money. You know what you do? You know what you do? You get tax money for 18 years and don't give the man not a goddamn dime. Like you was the one doing the humping and pumping. You just laid there, okay? And then sat around for 9 months and then pushed, laid there again and then pushed. A whole lot of laying and pushing, huh? All right, so anyway, Exodus 21:16. And he that stealeth the man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So, since you're stealing a child of Israel from the father and doing it for money, basically selling that child through paperwork for money, while you keep the child as collateral, you should be put to death in the days that are coming ahead, which is known as Jacob's trouble, the day of darkness, the day of the Lord. Now, where were we? So, Tobit, the book of Tobit, chapter 5, verse... So Tobit's father wanted to check it out. He said, yo, you gotta let me meet this man that's gonna rock with you, that's gonna go with you. And you gotta let me see what tribe he from. You gotta let me see if he could be trusted. The book of Tobit, chapter 5, verse 9. So he called him. Tobit called him, and he came in. And they saluted one another. All right. Then Tobit said unto him, I was trying to picture how they saluted one another. I couldn't. I was like, damn. Verse 10, then Tobit said unto him, brother, show me of what tribe and family thou art. All right, so we identified ourselves through our tribe. And our tribe is what father we came from and what family thou art. Okay. Through what man of that tribe we come to, what family of that tribe that we come to. To whom he said, verse 11, to whom he said, dost thou seek for a tribe or family or an hired man to go with thy son? So this angel got a smart ass mouth, man. The book of Tobit, chapter 5, verse 4, therefore when he went to seek a man, he found Raphael, that was an angel. So Raphael, the angel, down at verse 11, had a smart ass mouth, man. And he said, to whom, Tobit chapter 5, verse 11, to whom he said, dost thou seek for a tribe or family or an hired man to go with thy son? Then Tobit said unto him, I would know, brother, thy kindred and name. Verse 12, then he said, I am Azarias, the son of Ananias the great, and of thy brethren. So he's lying. Okay. The angel is lying. Okay, and how do we know that the angel is lying? Because we just read it in verse 4 that he was an angel. But in another verse, he says his name. The book of Tobit, chapter 12, verse... I wanted to read up some, but we'll just go with 15. Matter of fact, we'll go with 14. And now Yahweh have sent me to heal thee and Sarah, thy daughter-in-law. Verse 15, I am Raphael, one of the 7 holy angels which present the prayers of the saints and which go in and out before the glory of the Holy One. Right, so there's angels that go in and out before the glory of the Holy One and present the prayers of the saints. And the saints are on earth, the Israelites. Now, in Tobit chapter 12, verse 15, the angel confessed what his name is. In Tobit chapter 5, verse 12? Verse 12, the angel lied about what his name was. Now let's get to the story. So he trailing me. He trailing me. He won't leave. And then when I'm getting on the bus, I'm like, damn, I wonder how he gonna pay to get on the bus. And I think he pulled out his dollar that Esau had gave him from the thing, but the bus driver was like, nah, don't worry about it. So then he came and sat down. I was like, damn, he lucked out. So he was just talking, but I can't remember what the talking was because he just talked nonstop. He talked about how he got all these houses and everything that we could go to, and he was just talking so much. I was just like, yo, you ain't gonna make it, buddy, right? He was just saying he can't leave my side, blah, 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 right? So I'm like, okay, I gotta shake you, right? So I get off at the stop. I get off at the stop. Before the stop, I gotta get off. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bar, right? He still needed a charger. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bar. So I go to the bar and I get me a, what I get? I think I got a beer because I broke the top. Yeah, I messed up the glass. I messed up the glass edge, cracking it on the some hood way. So I messed up my beer. God damn it. And then now I'm just still trying to remember the story. That's why I say God damn it like that. I messed up my bed and we crossed the street. We leave the bar. And no, he said he wanted something to drink. But I gave him $5 at the where I gave him $5 at? No, that's when I gave him the $5. I gave him $5 at the bar because he only had the $1. And he said he wanted to drink a beer. He wanted some of my beer, some of my liquor or something, right? So I was like, oh, you want some beer, some liquor? I said, I'll get a bigger bottle, you get a cup, and then we could just split it. So I got a 22 ounce. And then he was like, all right, cool. So I paid for mine, and then he said he wanted some like energy. He said he wanted to drink. So he picked a drink, but he picked the energy drink. He didn't even pick the drink he was saying he wanted to get. He picked the energy drink instead of beer or alcohol or anything. He picked up the energy drink. He went, he paid. Then he said, can I get another $1? Because it was like $6 for the two things he wanted. It was like 2 energy drinks. And neither one of them was beer. It was like a red energy drink and then a black energy monster joint and then like a Red Bull joint type thing. Neither one of them was beer. Then he was like, yo, do you got he was like, I only gave him the 5. I gave him the 5. And then he was like, it cost 6. So he was like, nah, just take this off. So he took the thing off, he bought it, he gave me the change, he popped it open. I told him he'd keep the change, like, nah, then he popped it open, but I don't remember seeing him drink it. And I ain't making that up. I'm just recalling everything. So I don't remember seeing him drink it. And then we went into the to this other store, because every store he was like, oh, I know them. He said he knew the people in the bar. They didn't act like they knew him. He said he knew the other people at the corner store. Where we tried to see if we could charge the outlet, because it was a little like outlets outside the booth where everybody stand at before they buzz you in, but they ain't work. So he was like, I know him. He's boo. So he and he was just bugging me. I was bugging me out because I'm like, yo, son, how you saying you know everybody? How you saying you got houses everywhere? Like, come on, son. So he was like, but then when I watched the video, he did say he was in a psych ward. That's why I didn't give this testimony. But now that I seen that it was like something flying real fast in the sky with wings and all that covered the whole sky in like 2 minutes, 2 seconds. I said, let me just tell this story and get it off my chest, because it's kind of bugging me out. Like, it's real weird. All right, so now when we trying to charge his phone, because I had my charger, I'm like, yo, because I was trying to charge it on the outlet. Then he got buzzed inside. He was like, go inside. He was like, come inside with me. I was like, nah, you cool, go ahead. So he came inside. He went inside the store. He was like, I know him, blah, blah, let's go. I'm like, nah, nobody looking like they know this guy, right? And then he was like, all right. He said he'll let me use his charger behind the register. I just got to give him $1. Let me get the $1. Let me get the $1 that I gave you. When I gave him a 5, he gave me the $1, somewhere like that. Anyway, that Esau had gave him at the harbor. that put in his box, his juice box. And he was boofing. But he wasn't funky at the harbor. I didn't smell his funk till we got on the bus. No, till we got to the subway when he got Shorty IG right before we got on the bus. That's when I noticed he was boofing. I'm like, damn, son, you stink. But anyway, but he wasn't stinking at the harbor. But I didn't notice it anyway. I don't know. Anyway, listen. So the dude in the corner store goes, just give me $1 and just come back in 35 minutes. Just come back 35 minutes. Then, he was like, all right. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, he good. Now he just come back, he get his phone. He say he know them anyway. All right, now, I'm good. I don't got to worry about him charging his phone no more. But he still kept walking. He was like, nah, I got to stay with you. I'm thinking to myself, son, I told you I got to go to work in the morning. Like you can't stay with me where I'm going. You can't go. Like, it's not happening. You're not about to see where the hell I'm at. So we walked, and then the Royal Farms was on the next block. He was like, what's that, Royal Farms? Because you could see the blue. The sign. He's like, is that Royal Farms? If we is, they know me. Like, they know me. We can eat whatever we want. We good. And then I was like, now I'm about to see what's really good. Because the whole time I was trying to spare, I was like, what the hell is going on? Y'all about to see me outside. This is weird. From the time he was like five, like, say, yo, I gotta stay with you, I was like, oh, Lord. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what in the hell is going on? Y'all about to see me outside? This is weird. We about to get some free food. We get the free food. I know this is something that's real spiritual about this dude. Like, I ain't gonna say it, but something weird about this dude, right? So we go to the Royal Farms, and when we go inside, he says, all right, I forgot what he said. He made a little quick statement about God, then gave me a handshake, right? Now, mind you, I'd have been in jail too many times. I mean, yeah, 3 many times, right? So when we get in the store, he says something about God, and he give me a handshake right there in front door on camera. And then he say, yo, get whatever you want. Oh, whatever you want. I was like, what is you talking about? So I'm like, what do you mean get whatever you want? He was like, listen, God told me to tell you we're invisible right now. I said, oh, hell nah, this nigga's super crazy, right? So I was like, listen, nah. I said, no, yo, I can't. He said, yo, you gotta stay with me. He said, you gotta stay with me. I said, nah, boy, I can't. I said, no, God didn't say that. God didn't say we invisible. I said, I can't, right? Then I stepped outside the door, but son told me, wait for him. Son said, do not walk off, just wait for him. So I stood out there for about 5-10 minutes in my carnality, folly, and wickedness, right? I said, what the hell am I still doing out here, right? And I opened the door to go back in there, and this motherfucker ordering food. He already got his ticket. Like the shit was already paid for. And I think to myself, I walk up to him and I go, yo, I gotta go. I told you I gotta go to work in the morning. Because I had wrote down my number. I had wrote down the number again. Because his phone, he didn't have his phone on him. It was at the corner store thing. So I wrote down my number again. My little $10 phone number I got. And I gave it to him, and I was like, yo, I gotta go, son. I gotta go to work. He was like, all right, you sure? He's like, I'm supposed to stay. I gotta stay with you. We gotta stay together. I was like, yo, I gotta go to work. Yo, he's like, all right, you sure? Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm gonna call you. So he called me the next day while I was, sleep or whatever. I ain't noticed it, but then when I did hit back, he never hit back since. Then I had to reset the phone anyway, so I don't got his number. But the whole point of the story is that that shit was just weird. Because everything was like going his way. And he kept saying he knew everybody, but ain't nobody act like they knew his ass at all, as far as like happy to see him probably because he bums all the time. But everybody still helped him. Like it was to where like, if we in the jam and we got a dead phone, we was good. If we was in the jam and we was hungry, well, we could have split whatever he got, whatever he paid for. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, well, we ain't had to hit the bar. But when it's all said and done, it's just like, everything was all right. Everything was all right. So it made me think in Jacob's trouble, well, I have to, like, have so much faith in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah that I gotta listen to a bugged out, like saying stuff out the mouth that you know is bugged out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, son, like, yo, son, like, come on, son, like, we're not invisible. Like, you're on Earth, bro. Like, I don't know where you think you at, but everybody can see you now, man. The fuck? I can see you. Maybe they couldn't. I don't know. But listen, this is what I'm trying to tell you. That shit was weird. Alright, that shit was weird. It was weird. And I just couldn't hit the record button. Even with all that stuff he was talking, something told me, like, nah, so don't even record this. Like, this shit is just, like, too bugged out to even record anything he's saying out his mouth, son. But if I would have recorded it and everybody would have seen how shit was going, it would have been even 10 times as crazier. Because everything went perfect except for the shit that was saying out his mouth. And the fact that he didn't want to leave me the hell alone, I had to go to work. He was saying we gotta stay together. And it's funny because the next day when I seen his text or whatever, or when I woke up or whatever, when I see the text, he said, yo, I'm out here. I'm still out here. Where's you at? And I was just like, damn. So, and the times that we coming into, you know, we may meet angels that speak the gospels that's not according to the Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and we may meet angels that, you know, blatantly just lie to us and say things that are just like, what are you saying? Like, why are you telling me your name is Ananias, Azarias, the son of Ananias, if your name is Raphael, and you send prayers back and forth? Like, why you didn't just keep it real? You know, we have no idea, you know what I'm saying, what we're going to go through, but that was a weird, spooky, faith-boosting experience. It eerily boosted my faith, and I'm traumatized. I do not know whether to trust these lying-ass, blessed entities. Shalom. Oh, yeah, let's bring out some scriptures. Matter of fact, let's bring out this video. Matter of fact, let's bring out this video.
Said beef.
Nothing else. Well, back now to tonight's main news, and I'm sorry if you're enjoying your dinner, but the Food Standards Agency says the discovery of horse meat in a Findus beef lasagna is appalling, but maintains there's no immediate health risk to the public. As we've already heard on this programme tonight, there are serious questions about the regulations that supposedly govern what goes into processed food. If nothing else, this episode is highlighting how little we know about what we're eating. Here's our science reporter, Asha Tanner.
Chris Godfrey comes from a long line of butchers, 7 generations. His burgers are made from herd cattle.
The horse is an unclean animal. Come on, man. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, verse 12. No. Salaki. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, verse 13. Let's start at verse 10 because we're going to go through worse times than this. I've never wanted to even try Spam. I think I had a bite of Spam before in elementary school. It was disgusting. I don't want Spam. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, verse 10. And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight. 20 shekels a day from time to time shalt thou eat. So we're coming into worse times than the past. All right, thou shalt drink also water by measure. The 6th part of an hin from time to time shalt thou drink. All right, and 90% of the water has of the bottled water has 90% of the top 93% of the top 60 most popular fruit juices and teas have lead in the water. That's a lot, I was stretching. Have lead in the water. And I was watching a report on that. So, verse 12. and thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung, that's doodle, that cometh out of man in their sight. That is fucking disgusting. So basically, y'all gonna be mixing food with doodle for filling. All right, that you like chocolate donuts, you like cream-filled donuts. All right, well, the cream ain't gonna be casserole and everything around manure. It's just gonna be manure. Verse 13, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel, the 12 tribes, eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. You can't get more defiled than half horse, half cow hamburgers.
Each animal sells for £1,300. Economy burgers are made from offcuts from poor quality beef.
You can't make a burger for 50 pence. And remember, you've got 2 people getting a profit out of that one burger, or maybe 3 people taking a profit from a burger, manufacturer, supermarket, and the wrapping.
Now, what kind of businessman gonna have 3 people eating off his burger? All right. So this is how you know that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, when different companies will come together to secretly serve the public. A meat cocktail of animals. As they continue to do, we just didn't know that the horse was in there now. So when they do the pig, chicken, and the cow, it's cool, right? You don't mind, right? Well, how about when they throw the horse and the duck in? And a little bit of snail and worms. Goodness gracious. And this is 10 years ago. What made me look into it was, and you could look this up on your own, Lord willing, I'll put this in the description box. What made me look into it was this brother, right? Nope, not that. This brother right here.
Captivity. They don't abide by our laws. Okay, these companies are trying to.
Horse meat labeled as beef. You really thought you was keeping the laws, huh? Huh, IUIC? Huh? So, what am I looking for?
Ladies and gentlemen, our trust may very well be the new commodity that is on the market. Now, we're talking about CBDCs because people don't realize that this seemingly free money could easily become a form of government control and censorship. Now, some people are even calling them the electronic food stamps. That's all they are. Having all of that fiat tied to our sketchy electrical grid, it's definitely a questionable part of this whole deal, if you ask me. Not to mention, it seems like, a forced CBDC would be unconstitutional, especially in the way that it could easily transform into the government steering the American people in what they can and what they can't buy. Here, take a look at this.
Physical money has been called one of the last bastions of privacy. Laws like the bank's
The book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you, ruin you, spoil, ruin. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. All right, philosophies of, what's like it? Philosophy of America, of ancient Rome, of anything other than. Anything going against Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to spoil you. Anything going against the true teachings of the Bible is going to spoil you. IUIC is going to spoil you. ISUPK is going to spoil you. Watchmen for Israel is going to spoil you. Sons of Thunder is going to spoil you. Zakar is going to spoil you. House of Israel is going to spoil you. Okay, what the hell is Damn, I ain't made fun of me long enough. House of Wisdom is going to spoil you. Okay. These people out here in Baltimore with the white robes, they're gonna spoil you. Look like they're wearing the Christian baptism gowns with the Sim Salabim turban and the head wrap Sim Salabim style, all closed up and stuff, and a red scarf, either velvet or silk. We gotta give up the tradition of men. unless it's the men in the scriptures and the women in the scriptures. Their traditions were righteous from time to time. Thinking of Sarah, Rachel, Leah. The book of Colossians chapter 2 verse 8, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Matter of fact, we're going to let it play while we'll look that up.
Secrecy Act have already stripped away most of the privacy from bank accounts and financial transactions.
Banks have really a ton of power that people don't realize to shut down accounts, to freeze accounts, and to end up holding them for really any number of reasons.
Currency expert James Rickards says a digital currency would move America closer to a totalitarian state.
If I buy anything, the government doesn't know it. MasterCard kind of knows it, but even MasterCard uses, I'll say, Jim bought a Snickers. It says Jim bought miscellaneous merchandise at a retail place. So the government doesn't know what you're doing. But with this new central bank digital currency, they will, because they maintain the ledger. So if I buy, Ron DeSantis' new book, or I go to a Donald.
Yeah, I hit the wrong buttons. So the philosophy, love of wisdom, all right? So you get spoiled through your love of wisdom, all right? Because as it is written, many have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. So you used either of zeal for or skill in any art or science, any branch of knowledge, all right? So it's vanity. You be chasing the wind, and the rudiments. Any first thing from which the others belonging to some series or composite whole take their rise, an element, first principle. So, constituent, you can't make this up. Element, principle, rudiment. A constituent, literally. All right, so we can't be going after the constituents of the world, man. The things that they go after. All right, the propositions of the world, okay? And not after Yahweh Shai Mashiach.
Trump rally or whatever it may be, the government using artificial intelligence and having that information, which they would, are able to profile you. They say, well, this guy kind of looks like...
Oh, snap. World Economic Forum confirmed. Brace yourself, folks, and millions will go hungry in America.
a conservative, and maybe he's MAGA. And then you've got a target on your back.
So they talked about it in the World Economic Forum recently, and they said that this is the dark place that CBDCs could take us to if we're not careful. Basically put, they could easily put an expiration date on your money. And at the WEF, they also talked about physical currency on the verge of disappearing, making way for
the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So what is this that they got to do with their hands or in their foreheads? What do they got to do in their hands or their foreheads? They have to get a stamp, an imprinted mark. Okay, they have to pledge their loyalty to not follow the scripture that says, you can't buy or sell unless you do it. You'll die of a grievous sword if you do it. They have to follow the anti-Hamashiach. The mark branded upon horses. Okay, because you will be looked at as cattle to the elite bankers. Okay, so the mark is a thing carved, sculpture, graven work. Okay, so when we go to the Strong's definition, it says charagma, a scratch or etching. Okay, that's the microchip. As a badge of servitude, What do you do after you complete your servitude for the day or for the week or for the month, depending on your salary? You get paid. You get paid, man. You get paid. All right, and that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So what is this mark that you gotta have to be able to buy or sell? It's the same definition. Okay, you have to have a scratch or etching on your hand or in your forehead to buy or sell. All right, you have to have that stamp to do that servitude. Servitude to the elite bankers.